The terror you have just seen was caused by science fiction. Everything else in this motion picture that you will see is science fact. The phenomena you are about to witness could well revolutionize your way of thinking. We are presenting startling facts and evidence that take up where other explanations leave off. Some of these revelations may very well go against things you have been taught and perhaps believed all your life. Prepare yourself for the evidence which will follow. The producers accept no responsibility for any mental trauma caused by the contents of this motion picture.
Louis Vendredi made a deal with the devil to sell cursed antiques, but he broke the pact, and it cost him his soul. Now his niece Mickey and her cousin Ryan have inherited the store, and with it, the curse. Now they must get everything back, and the real terror begins.
In 1988, the crime rate in the United States rises 400%. The once great city of New York becomes the one maximum security prison for the entire country. A 50-foot containment wall is erected along the New Jersey shoreline, across the Harlem River, and down along the Brooklyn shoreline. It completely surrounds Manhattan Island. All bridges and waterways are mine. The United States police force, like an army, is encamped around the island. There are no guards inside the prison, only prisoners and the worlds they have made. The rules are simple. Once you go in, you don't return.
Good evening, I'm Vincent Price. I'm going to be your host for this evening. The Halloween season has always been a particular favorite of mine because, Well, because terror is so exhilarating.
For a perfectly fiendish and comical approach to ghastly tales of horror, look to George Romero and Stephen King's Creepshow next. The following movie has been rated R, the Motion Picture Association of America. Parents may wish to consider whether it should be viewed by children under 17. HBO will show this feature only at night. For a perfectly fiendish and comical approach to ghastly tales of horror, look to George Romero and Stephen King's Creepshow next. The following movie has been rated R, the Motion Picture Association of America. Parents may wish to consider whether it should be viewed by children under 17. HBO will show this feature only at night.
It's Halloween, the night he came home, when the deepest fears are made real, when the darkest nightmares come true, when the most courageous soul cowers in the face of evil. First time on TV, a modern horror classic from John Carpenter. Parental discretion advised. This film contains elements of shock and suspense. And now, Halloween, you won't be watching it alone.
USA's Saturday Nightmares.
In some areas, and countless stores were stripped bare before police arrived.
Man lives in the sunlit world of what he believes to be reality. But there is, unseen by most, an underworld, a place that is just as real, but not as brightly lit. A dark side.
It'll be the 21st of April. 100 years ago, on the 21st of April, out the waters around Spivey Point, a small clipper ship drew toward land. Suddenly, out of the night, the fog rolled in. For a moment, they could see nothing, not a foot ahead of them. Then they saw a light. My God, it was a fire burning on the shore, strong enough to penetrate the swirling mist. He steered a course toward the light, but it was a campfire like this one. The ship crashed against the rocks. The hull sheared in two. Mast snapped like a twig. The wreckage sank, with all the men aboard. At the bottom of the sea lay the Elizabeth Dane with her crew, their lungs filled with salt water, their eyes open, staring into the darkness. And above, as suddenly as it had come, the fog lifted, receded back across the ocean, and never came again. But it is told by the fishermen and their fathers and grandfathers that when the fog returns to Antonio Bay, the men at the bottom of the sea, out in the water by Spivey Point, rise up and search for the campfire that led them to their dark, icy death. 12 o'clock, the 21st of April.
I resigned to take this assignment. Gary, a 30-year Army man, jumped through the ranks to become an officer. Likes the job of station manager. Clark, in charge of the dogs, doing a study on the effects of extreme cold on animal behavior. These men were commissioned by the United States National Science Institute to gather data concerning the physical and natural sciences of the continent of Antarctica. Dr. Copper, graduate of Harvard Medical School, received his training at Massachusetts General Hospital. A personal tragedy in his life sent him on this adventure. Bennings, meteorologist, Noel Probe, many papers published in his field. Blair, a pioneering microbiologist whose research on DNA helped lay the foundation for genetic engineering. Many discoveries in the field of cellular.
Get a hold of somebody. Get a hold of anybody. We gotta report this mess. Look, I haven't been able to reach a soul for weeks. I doubt if anybody's talked to anybody on this entire continent, and you want me to reach somebody.
Palmer, second-string chopper pilot, track mechanic, who hopes to start up his own business as a mechanic upon completion of this assignment. Norris, geophysicist, was a professor at Caltech, has an incipient heart condition. Knowles, inventive cook, a product of Lux, interested in the Antarctic.
Maybe we had moved north.
Hughes, assistant biologist, worked with Blair at the Rockefeller Foundation.
On the station. It says here in the evenings, there's not long enough for guys to put bunkers.
The terror you have just seen was caused by science fiction. Everything else in this motion picture that you will see is science fact. The phenomena you are about to witness could well revolutionize your way of thinking. We are presenting startling facts and evidence that take up where other explanations leave off. Some of these revelations may very well go against things you have been taught and perhaps believed all your life. Prepare yourself for the evidence which will follow. The producers accept no responsibility for any mental trauma caused by the contents of this motion picture.